Anna was a curious little girl who lived in a small village surrounded by mountains and fields. She always dreamed of discovering new places, especially the magical garden that everyone in her village spoke about. The garden was said to be filled with vibrant flowers, ancient trees, and a sparkling river that ran through it. But nobody knew how to get there. One sunny morning, Anna woke up determined. Today is the day, she thought to herself as she put on her favorite shoes, packed a little bag with some food and water, and set off on her adventure. As she walked through the village, Anna greeted everyone she met. She first stopped by the bakery where Mr. Baker was busy kneading dough. "Mr. Baker, have you heard of the magical garden?" she asked, her eyes wide with excitement. Mr. Baker smiled and said, "Oh yes, many people talk about it. But I've never been there. They say it's beyond the forest, but no one has found it." Anna nodded and thanked him before continuing on her way. As she left the village, she spotted an old woman sitting on a bench by the road. "Excuse me, ma'am, do you know where the magical garden is?" Anna asked politely. The old woman chuckled, "Ah, the magical garden. It's said to be far, far away, deep beyond the forest. But you must be brave if you want to find it." Anna thanked her too and walked toward the forest, feeling more determined than ever. As she entered the forest, it felt quiet and mysterious. The tall trees stretched high above, their branches creating a canopy of leaves that filtered the sunlight. Birds chirped, and the sound of a gentle breeze accompanied her footsteps. Anna followed a small path that led deeper into the forest. Along the way, she met a squirrel who was gathering acorns. "Hello, little squirrel," Anna said. "Do you know where I can find the magical garden?" The squirrel twitched its nose and replied, "I've heard it lies beyond the hills at the end of the forest. But the way is tricky, and you must keep your eyes open for signs." Thanking the squirrel, Anna continued her journey. She walked and walked until the sun was high in the sky. After a while, she grew tired and sat down to rest under a large oak tree. As she closed her eyes for a moment, she heard a soft voice. "Are you looking for the magical garden?" the voice asked. Startled, Anna opened her eyes to see a friendly rabbit standing before her. "Yes, I am," Anna replied. "Do you know where it is?" The rabbit nodded. "Follow me, but you must trust your heart and believe in the magic of this forest." Anna followed the rabbit through winding paths, over small streams, and under arching trees. They soon reached the edge of the forest, where a large hill stood. "This is the last part of your journey," said the rabbit. "Climb this hill, and you will find what you seek." With renewed energy, Anna began climbing the hill. As she reached the top, her breath caught in her throat. Below her lay the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. The flowers bloomed in every color imaginable, and the air smelled sweet with their fragrance. In the center of the garden stood a grand tree, its branches reaching toward the sky, and beneath it, a sparkling river flowed gently. Anna walked down the hill, her heart filled with joy. She had found the magical garden at last. She wandered through the flowers, touching their soft petals, and sat by the river, listening to the peaceful sound of the water flowing. In that moment, Anna realized that the magic of the garden wasn't just in its beauty. It was in the journey, the people she had met, and the lessons she had learned along the way. She had discovered that magic wasn't something to be found, it was something to be experienced. Anna spent the rest of the afternoon in the garden, breathing in the peace and wonder of the place. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the garden, she knew it was time to return home. She whispered a quiet goodbye to the flowers, the river, and the grand tree, promising to visit again one day. With a heart full of happiness, Anna made her way back through the forest, retracing her steps. When she finally returned to her village, everyone was eager to hear about her adventure. She told them of the friendly squirrel, the wise rabbit, and the magical garden beyond the hills. And from that day on, Anna knew that even the most impossible dreams could come true, as long as you have the courage to follow them. Anna returned to her village with a heart full of excitement. But the next morning, she began to feel that her adventure wasn't quite over. She had visited the magical garden and enjoyed its beauty, but she still had so many questions. How was it created? Who took care of the flowers and the trees? And, most importantly, could the magic help her village? With these questions in mind, Anna decided to visit the magical garden once more. This time, however, she wanted to meet whoever took care of it. As she set off again, she noticed something different. The path through the forest seemed longer and more difficult to follow. The trees were thicker, and the sky looked darker. Anna felt a bit scared, but she reminded herself of the rabbit's words, "Trust your heart." After walking for hours, she found the friendly squirrel again. "Hello, little squirrel," Anna greeted. "Do you know who takes care of the magical garden?" The squirrel shook its head. "I don't know who cares for the garden. But I've heard of someone who might know. He lives in the deepest part of the forest. His name is the gardener." Anna thanked the squirrel and continued her journey. She walked through the forest, deeper and deeper, until she reached a clearing she had never seen before. In the center stood a small wooden house covered in vines and flowers. Anna approached the house carefully and knocked on the door. To her surprise, a tall man with a kind smile opened the door. "Hello there," he said in a soft voice. "I am the gardener. How can I help you?" Anna explained her adventure and asked how the magical garden came to be. The gardener nodded and said, "The magical garden has existed for hundreds of years. It was created by the first people who lived in this forest. They loved nature and wanted a place where flowers, trees, and animals could live in harmony. I take care of it now, but the magic comes from the earth, the water, and the love people have for it." Anna was amazed. "Can the garden help my village?" she asked eagerly. "We need more food, more water, and more trees. Can the magic help?" The gardener thought for a moment. "The garden can help," he said, "but only if the people in your village truly care for nature. The magic will only work if everyone works together to plant seeds, take care of the trees, and protect the land." Anna knew this was the answer she had been looking for. "I will tell everyone in my village," she promised. The next day, Anna gathered all the villagers and told them about the magical garden and the gardener. At first, some people didn't believe her. "A magical garden?" they laughed. "That's just a story." But Anna didn't give up. She showed them the seeds she had brought back from the garden and explained how the magic worked. Slowly, the villagers began to listen. They understood that they needed to work together to make their village a better place. Over the next few months, everyone in the village helped plant trees, build gardens, and clean the rivers. It wasn't easy. Sometimes, they felt tired, and other times, they worried that the magic wouldn't work. But Anna reminded them,